Hello everyone, today I'm back with another video showcasing every sword in Roblox Rebound. Just know if you want every sword in the game, you have to be quite the gambling enthusiast. So, starting off with Stick. This sword is a common and literally has no special slash effects. I mean, it's just a stick, so don't waste your time getting it. Moving on, we have Starseeker, which is a pretty nice sword for a common. It has no effects, sadly, and still uses the basic slash effect. Next up, we have Tempest's Edge, and for a common sword, I think it's a pretty nice sword. But if it only had a slash effect. Moving on, we have the Hockey Stick. I mean, it's just a hockey stick, what did you expect? Same purple slash, so nothing special about this sword. Another common sword is the Big Popsicle, which I honestly never use. It has no effects and still uses the same boring purple slash. Now moving on from the commons, we have our very first rare and last sword of the game. Chrono Breaker is for some reason the only rare sword that's obtainable in the game. There are literally more legendaries than rare swords. Sadly, no effects or slash effects. Now for our first epic sword, we have Bloodwing. This sword, for some odd reason, has no effects on the sword, but does have a slash effect. It's a nice red slash, which isn't bad for an epic sword. Next up is Tidecaller. Now, for some odd reason, this sword is an epic sword and not legendary. When I first got this sword, I thought it was a legendary, but it literally isn't. And to be honest, the sword has some really nice VFX on it. And for some dumb reason, this sword doesn't have any slash. I mean, it has so much potential. Definitely more than the Bloodwing sword for sure. Next up is the classic sword. Now, I know this sword isn't obtainable through the daily shop or crates, but I'm still showing it. It can only be obtained if you get VIP, which is going to cost you 300 Robux. It's a pretty nice sword, but I wouldn't say you should buy it for 300 Robux. Now, for our very first legendary, we have the Galvanizer. This was the first legendary I ever got, and I still use it. It looks really nice and has some pretty cool side effects when you hit the ball. When you hit the ball, it gains a cool effect for a short amount of time. Honestly, this is still my favorite sword, and I'm still going to keep using it. For our next legendary, we have the Astral Cleaver. This sword a lot bigger than the first one. The only thing I don't like about this sword is its similarity to the regular common slashes. As you can see here, both slashes look quite similar in a way, but either way, it's still a pretty decent sword. It also has a pretty nice effect when you hit the ball. For our next legendary, we have Fulminar. This sword is a pretty big sword, and also has one of the nicest slashes I've ever used. It also has a pretty similar effect to the first legendary sword I showcased. They both look the same in terms of the ball effect. Now last but not least is Rimwood. This is the only red sword that's legendary. Maybe they will add more later on. But here is the slash. It has a pretty nice effect when you hit the ball. Now, for the final sword in the game, the Berserker. By the way, this sword can only be obtained from the Berserker bundle pack. Here is the sword. It also has a nice trail effect at the tip of the sword. Here is the slash. It has a nice bright red glow to it. When you hit the ball, it covers the entire ball in black. I'll show you guys what the explosion effect looks like later on. Here is the explosion. So, what's your favorite sword? Comment down below and like and subscribe. Goodbye.